Welcome to CATEX TV. My name is Frank Fortunato. Today is Monday, April 16th, 2012. In the United States, your income taxes are due tomorrow. Don't forget to send them in. There was a pretty good-sized earthquake in Greece just a short time ago. A 5.6 magnitude quake struck off the southern Peloponnese coast of Greece. It occurred about 14:23 p.m. Local time, 2:23 in the afternoon. It was about 147 miles southwest of Athens. No reports of any damage or injuries. The quake was centered actually about 36 miles west-southwest of Kalamata, Greece. At least 5 people in the United States died over the weekend as a result of very heavy tornado activity in Oklahoma. This was after a tornado alert was issued on Friday. We reported the alert. It came from the Severe Storm Center in Norman, Oklahoma. Apparently, it saved a number of lives. Dozens of tornadoes ripped through parts of Oklahoma, Kansas, Nebraska, and Iowa. 5 people were killed in the northwestern Oklahoma city of Woodward. However, it's estimated that many lives were saved because of the very early warnings, which were quite specific, saying deadly weather is coming. U.S. safety regulators have found 16 crashes and 5 injuries in an investigation of transmission control problems with BMW 7 Series luxury cars. They began investigating the cars last August. The agency has upgraded that probe now to an engineering analysis, which is a step along the path to a recall. The investigation covers about 122,000 BMWs from 2002 through 2008. Here's the problem. The cars have a push-button start and electronic transmission controls. In some cases, the owners may think that the cars are in park when in fact they're actually in neutral. The safety agency said in documents on its website posted today that sometimes cars can actually roll away unexpectedly and crash. This is, of course, if they're parked on hills. The Qantas A380 airplane that developed an engine explosion issue after it took off from Singapore Airport. We now know why. Apparently, the Australian Safety Authority has come in with their report. They're saying that an old turbine blade in a Rolls-Royce engine that was fitted to the jumbo jet apparently broke off and set in sequence a chain of events that led to the uncontained engine explosion. Apparently what happened, we can glean through this, they found that the last time the engine was overhauled back in May of '09, the turbine bearing had accumulated already nearly 72,000 hours of operation, or more than 9,000 takeoffs and landings. Although the engine turbine had been maintained by the book, the blades had accumulated about 80,000 hours of operation. When one blade broke off, it caused the other blades to shear, causing an imbalance internally, overloading the turbine roller bearing, which then failed, allowing one turbine shaft to orbit, striking another shaft that snapped, which etc., led to the uncontained explosion. Rolls-Royce told investigators that the blade that broke was the only one of its kind that had ever broken in the 23-year history of the RB211 engine type. However, investigators recommend now that A380 operators replace high service blades and retrofit a newer, more robustly designed bearing, which houses a more contained unit during the next maintenance visit. Qantas said 28 of its 72 Rolls-Royce RB211 engines have already been so-called converted. One would think that when you're putting out a new plane, you'd also put on the new engines. Florida Attorney General Pamela Bondi has asked the Louisiana federal court that's looking at the big BP settlement for a delay. She's asked the court to establish a schedule that would allow the relevant parties to have an opportunity to review the settlement. The settlement, all told, is worth about $7.8 billion. If the agreement is in fact temporarily postponed for a while, it could result in a realignment of the parties and legislation which is now moving along in the Congress of the United States to possibly affect the deal. And in Manaus, Bahrain, hundreds of protesters have taken to the street of Manama, I should say, the country's capital, after an opposition call for a week of anti-government protests leading up to coincide with the Formula One Grand